Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking out this video. So I'm asked pretty often, what do I do to the ratchets when I get them? Where do I find them? All this kind of stuff. And so I just picked these up at an auction, and basically it's an old Plomb. These are really incredible. The original 5249. Here's a little 1/4-inch drive, and then this breaker bar. See the Plomb barely right there, but so guys, first thing that I do when I get these is, number one, I want to see if they're working, and this one is. It's just got a lot of, you can see there's a lot of crud in there, so these are actually working. This one is as well, which is good. And so normally what I'll do right here, if they are not working, the first thing I'll do is soak them in evapo rust, because more than likely you're not going to get those screws out if they're not working, because it's usually rust. It's usually nothing more than that. So in this case, my guess is, because usually there's going to be crud in the screws, since there isn't, I'm assuming that whoever had this once upon a time probably put a new kit in it. So now what I'm going to do right away is I take this apart, because I want to see what is going on inside. And see if is it dirty? Is the gear completely shot? Is it stripped? You know, I want to find out as much as I can before I do any type of cleaning or decide what I'm going to use. This one, the gear doesn't look too bad. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually not bad at all. It does have some rust. You can see where these are just super caked in grease. You guys be careful with these springs, because they'll disappear on you pretty quick. And so that's all there is to these old Plombs. It's the same thing with any proto wrench. They're the exact same. What's really awesome about these, you guys, especially the 5249 and the 5449, the 1/2-inch drive, you can actually purchase a proto repair kit, and they fit perfectly into these. So if you really like the look of your Plomb, or you just really love it and can't seem to get away from it, you can always do that. So now what I'm going to do, there's rust on here that I obviously want to get off. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I just get some of this WD-40, the cleaner degreaser. I pour some in one of these little cups, and really all I'm going to do is soak these parts and clean them really well. I'll let them soak, you know, depending on how bad they are, maybe you know, an hour or so. Just get a brush and clean them up to get all this off. Okay, so I'll just kind of leave those in there. The gear, I'm probably just going to go ahead and throw in evapo rust along with this. Good thing is this lever's still here, so that's good. Probably should soak at least the top of this in degreaser first, clean it. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So you guys, if you use evapo rust a lot and you try to get it to go the distance, because it tends to get a little expensive after a while, if you clean it and scrub down your piece first and then put it in there to soak in the evapo rust, it's going to obviously last a lot longer. So what I'll probably do is just, you know, I lean this up against something, put this in there, and I'll just let the head of this and the pieces soak for a little bit. And then I just take a wire brush and brush them all out. This I'll obviously just turn right around and throw right into the evapo rust. So I'm going to drop that here in a minute. And this one, let's see if we can get, now this one, it's a little different here. Doesn't look like this one's ever been opened. So let's move that over. Oops, sorry guys. All right, let's see if we can get this out of here. Looks like that screw might be stripped. If you guys are looking at it, I'm going to see if I can get, there we go. If you're looking at it, you can see that, man, there's probably just no chance. It's probably seized in there really well. You know, the last thing you want to do is go soak this. I have two choices right now, really. If I go soak this in evapo rust, obviously it's going to get on the inside, so I've got to get it open at that point, because I've got to clean it all out. I also don't want to soak it in degreaser either. So sometimes what a lot of people will do, you know, I'm worried that, you know, if I just want to leave it like this and just really clean it up, which is probably what I'll do in this case, because it's working just fine and it feels like the gear's actually really, really good. But you'll notice there's no lever. I just realized that. So now that there's no lever, I am going to definitely want to get this apart. So I'm going to take this. I'll probably just throw it in the evapo rust and let it soak along with this breaker bar. And also this piece here, I'll put this in the degreaser first, get that grease off. And I'm going to let all of that soak. I'm going to go drop these in the evapo rust, and we'll check them out here in a few hours and pick up from there. Okay guys, so I just took this out of the degreaser. You can see it got most of it off, so at least now this is, pretty clean. The inside of this is still a little gunky, but what I'm going to go ahead and do, just because of a lot of this rust, is I'm just going to drop the handle into the evapo rust, and obviously this as well. And then once all the rust is gone, we'll just really get it shined up, and I'll show you guys kind of what I do from there. But I'm going to drop this. We'll come back here in about a couple hours and we'll pull everything out, see where we're at, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so I literally just took this out of the evapo rust. It's been in there much longer than 3 hours. It's actually been in there all day. What I did on this breaker bar especially, because this one was really, really bad, I'll usually take them out every couple of hours and scrub them down with just one of these brass brushes. You can use a steel one, it doesn't matter, but I usually just keep scrubbing it down until you get all of that rust off. Let it soak really, really well, rinse really, really, really well, because that stuff dries super sticky, guys, so you want to make sure you get it all off. The surprising thing was the way this came out. I mean, you guys, this is just, really brushed down real quick. This ratchet came out looking really, really good. So now you can see where just in using the brush, a lot of that gunk came out. I was talking to you guys earlier about, being able to get that screw out. So now I should be able to get that screw out without any issues now and see what's going on the inside of that one. So let's start with that first. Let's see if we can get this open. Definitely don't want to strip it, which feels like that's exactly what I'm doing. Well, okay, it looks like it's gonna come loose here. Now we can see, hopefully. Go. Wow. So surprising enough, this gear looks really good. Maybe I spoke too soon. Well, anyway, it's not bad by any means. You'll notice the inside of this, guys, is the same as the other ones. You have these two levers, you've got your springs, and the inside of this one is super clean, which is pretty exciting. So either whoever had this prior to really took care of it, or it just hasn't been used a whole lot. Now what I'm hoping to try to do here is hopefully find another lever that I can use in this. I may have one here, but now I wanted to see the inside and see how rusted this was. So now I'll probably go throw this in the evapo rust. And here's the thing, guys, I use evapo rust for stuff where I know that I can't get, or areas that I can't see, or little crevices like this where you don't really want to soak this in vinegar. Probably not a good idea. It's better to just keep it safe, throw it in the evapo rust. But so now what I'm gonna do, you guys, and I'll probably film a little bit of it, is I'm going to really just now, you can see all of this is going to come out now. What I do, the way I get the shine, and I know that, some people like it, some don't, I do personally, I'll actually now just go ahead and run it over my bench grinder with my wire wheel. And that's just really to get, you know, this will get super shiny. I do like to buff it out, and I do like to get them really, really nice. So I'll probably, that's, you know, going to be the next and pretty much the last step. And then once that's done, I'll be able to get some super lube, put this all back together, and it's going to work pretty well, but it's going to look really, really awesome. So let's go to some wire wheel, and we'll come back and put these together. Okay guys, so these parts cleaned up, everything cleaned up really awesome. Now you can see the shine here, which is why I really like that. I do the same thing just to clean that gear really well, clean the levers. I don't know what the proper term is. The screws, springs, everything's ready to go. So now we can put it back together. I use super lube. It's probably, in my opinion, the best. You guys, you know, it's funny how many different opinions I hear on the how to apply the lube. For me, it's more anywhere where metal touches metal, guys, just get it on there. You know, some people are like, well, you don't use a lot, and some say yes you do. And I mean, everything's always worked well for me the way I do it, and so I usually just, you know, get it on there really well, especially on the gear. Okay. All right, let's just set this right here. And then guys, what I do, get the gear in there first. Go ahead and then put in the lever. Once you get the lever in there, this becomes a little easier. You know, push it over as far as you can, and then what I do is just pinch the spring. Let's see here. I just really pinch that spring, or whatever's easier for you guys. Let's see here. All right. You can move your lever over to drop that one. Go ahead and put this one in. Some of these are one of the easier ratchets to do this to. Some of the other ones have mechanisms that are extremely difficult to work with. Craftsman sometimes becomes a little bit of a pain here, but that's it right there, guys. So you can go ahead, just put this back on here, make sure it's on good, and it goes on there, it fits. Put the screws back in. Okay, and last one here. And that's it, guys. There's really nothing to this. It's much easier than a lot of people think. It's funny how many messages I get about this. So it's ready to rock and roll. So pretty incredible the way these can come out. You guys, you can't even imagine how many of these I pick up. And they're sold because they don't work. And all you need to do is exactly what I just did right there, and you have a pretty incredible ratchet. Again, the great thing about these is if I ever wanted to, or if you guys have one of these, you want to put in a new kit, you can always just use the Proto 52491 and it'll fit right in there. So I'm going to wire wheel, same thing coming up on these. I actually, and I'll put a link, I just ordered a rebuild kit. I really just need that lever. But I'm going to redo that one. I'm going to wire wheel, of course, this bar. It'll look just like this when it's done. And I'll have a couple really cool pieces to add to the Plomb collection. So if you guys enjoy this video, if it helps you at all, please click like, please subscribe so you guys are notified when new stuff comes up. You guys definitely give me a follow on Instagram. Most of what I do is on Instagram. Everybody messages me there, sends me pictures there, so keep those coming. I really, really appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun. And let me know if I can ever be of any help to you guys. I'd love to give advice in anywhere where I can. And if I missed something on this video and you guys feel like something could have been added that would have been useful, I'd appreciate that feedback. So you guys, thank you for watching. Please reach out, keep the pictures coming, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.